Before I even say anything else, I want you to really slow down and take this in because what I'm about to say is not just another emotional message. It's something that touches those deep places in your heart where you've been overthinking, questioning, and trying to understand what's really going on behind the scenes. Because sometimes in life, you feel things that you cannot fully explain. You think about people you haven't spoken to in a long time. You remember conversations that felt unfinished, and out of nowhere, their name just shows up in your mind too. And you start asking yourself, why am I still thinking about them? Why are they still showing up in my thoughts? And God says, your name keeps reminding them in their mind. This is not normal. It is spiritual. Even when they are busy, even when they are trying to distract themselves, even when they are trying to move forward, your name still rises up in their thoughts. Not in a forced way, but in moments they don't expect. Quiet moments, alone moments, moments where everything slows down and memories start speaking louder than noise. And I know that sounds powerful and maybe even overwhelming, but hear me carefully. There are connections in life that don't just disappear easily from the mind or the heart. That's why scripture says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. And Proverbs 4:23, because what enters the heart does not just stay in emotion, it influences memory, reflection, and thought. And I know you've been wondering what all of this means. I know part of you is asking if it's a sign, if it means they still care, if it means they will eventually come back, if this connection is still alive in some way. But hear this clearly. Just because your name is on their mind does not automatically mean direction. It does not automatically mean destiny. And it does not automatically mean restoration, because thoughts are not decisions, memory is not movement. Emotion is not instruction, and reflection is not commitment. And scripture also reminds us the heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Jeremiah 17:9, meaning not every feeling someone has and not every thought they think is a reliable guide for what God is actually building in your future. But still, there is something deeper happening here. Because when a connection was real, it can leave a mark. It can echo in memory. It can show up in unexpected moments. It can resurface when someone least expects it. And it can feel like the presence of a person is still there, even when distance has made it look like everything is over. But even with all of that, you need to hear this truth. Even if they keep thinking about you, even if your name still crosses their mind, even if memories still come back to them, that alone is not enough to rebuild what was broken. Because restoration is not built on memory, it is built on transformation. And I know part of you finds comfort in the idea that you are still remembered, that you are still thought of, that you are still emotionally present in someone's story. It feels like proof that something is still there, but you cannot build your peace on what you cannot see, and you cannot build your future on what has no action behind it, because God is not a God of confusion. As scripture says, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. 1 Corinthians 14:33. So anything that pulls you into uncertainty, emotional guessing, mixed signals, and mental exhaustion is not something you are meant to build your life on. So if something is truly from God, it will not only exist in thoughts and memories, it will produce clarity, it will produce peace, it will produce alignment, it will produce direction. And hear this deeply. God is not just concerned about who remembers you. He is concerned about where He is taking you. Because while someone may still be thinking about your past, God is already preparing your future. And yes, your name may still be in their mind. That may still happen in moments you don't even know about. But you cannot pause your life waiting for someone's thoughts to turn into action. Because your healing cannot depend on silent emotions you cannot control. Your peace cannot depend on someone else's inner world. And your future cannot be built on uncertainty. Because what God is preparing for you is not trapped in memory, it is moving forward into reality. And one day you will understand that what felt like spiritual connection was not always instruction. Sometimes it was just a reminder that you mattered, but not a sign to go back. So release the overthinking, release the guessing, release the emotional waiting, because what is truly meant for you will not confuse you in silence. It will confirm itself in reality.